of St. Patrick's Church, St. Patrick's Catholic Church in Junction City, Ohio. I'm going to take you inside the church and let you see the interior of our church here. I say our because this is my home parish. It always will be. Let's go inside and I'll try to show you the pictures interior of this church. St. Patrick's Church, Junction City, Ohio, and I'm showing you the interior of our altar here, and the view of the church taken from the area in the back, the balcony in back of the church here, where as a child, as a boy, I used to sing a little with the choir here, not that much, but I enjoyed it very much. At that time, when we came to sing the Stations of the Cross, the music was made from this organ here, and it is a pipe organ, and it was run by pumping the pedals on the floor here, somewhere here, anyway. There are the controls for the pipe organ, and this is where the music came from back in my day when I was a child here. I don't seem to find the control. Oh, there, Irma has showed me the lever that I used to work up and down to pump the organ that made the music through the pipe organ. And the organist, of course, sat here. His folds down into an organ. In more recent years, here they have bought another organ. As a matter of fact, when I had my pharmacy in New Lexington, Ohio, Father Shure was here, and I donated $200 for the purchase of this organ, more modern, etc. The beautiful pictures up here, colored stained glass in color here in the back of the church. One on either side of the back church. This is on the other side. Also stained glass windows along the sides of the church. There it has come into focus. Beautiful color stained glass. The sun's rays through there have brought back great memories to me when as a child I would see the Stations of the Cross here, the beautiful stained windows. There's St. Patrick's Church. Okay, going back to the front of the church, the altar, as you can see, we have the Blessed Virgin Mary and the small crucifix up on the tabernacle. There to our left is St. Patrick's. Maybe I can bring that in a little bit closer, the patron saint of our church here. I'll bring that in a little closer. And there's St. Patrick's. St. Patrick, our patron saint here at Junction City, Ohio, St. Patrick's Parish. On the opposite side is St. Anthony. St. Anthony, I believe, used to sit down here in this corner where yet another organ is. I didn't donate for that one, but that is a more recent organ that is into operation right now, but directly behind the organ in that corner there is where the statue of St. Anthony was. And across here we have the Immaculate Heart of Christ statue, which still remains. There have been two other statues taken away over the years, and the Blessed Virgin Mary used to sit up on her own tabernacle And as you can see, I hope the color is white and blue. Beautiful. In the corner, you see the statue, I beg your pardon. In the corner, you see the baptismal for the sacrament of baptism, used where the priest anoints the water and the oil on a newborn infant. Those are the various verses they had at church there this morning. Okay, I'll take you back down the steps and I'll go up a little closer to the front. Irma said before I leave this area that indeed I was right, and this is the organ. She did fold it down, and this is the old pipe organ. The keys where they played the music here. The organ which I had helped to purchase back in the in the 60s. Okay? And then, of course, the present day organ, which is up in the upper right-hand corner of this church, more recent organ for music. Okay, now I'll leave here. And this is a rear view of the church of St. Patrick's. Now I'll walk a little bit closer. I think the seating here probably seats in the neighborhood of, possibly 200 or 300 people. I believe Irma found the light switch over there. She's trying to help me out, but I really don't need the light switch. Okay, I'll walk toward the front. We have the baptismal fountain, the statue of the Blessed Virgin Mary, the altar, and the communion rail. I'll see if I can turn the light on. I don't even know if that will help us here or not. Maybe I can try the backlight. No, well, I'm on the wrong part now. Okay, I think this is the backlight. No, it is not. I'm trying to bring it into focus. Just bear with me. I'll get it in a minute. I'm trying to show you the communion rail here in front of the church. Many years ago, they would close the doors here and make the communion rail. They would drop a little white linen cloth, and we would receive the Holy Eucharist. And much different than today. We would line up at the communion rail and receive Holy Communion. This is known as our communion rail here. Okay, once again, back up to the altar of this church that has been established here for a number of years. St. Patrick's Church, Junction City, Ohio, my home parish, and St. Patrick's. The crucifix at the center of the altar. Painted white, and of course the modern day altar in front here. Now I'll gradually turn around here and try to bring into focus the rear of here's Irma, and show you the rear of the church from the front. And there it comes into focus. And once again, you'll see the pipe organ in the middle, up on the balcony, the rear of the church, and the sides, the Stations of the Cross, still much the same they were. I'm sure they're exactly the same as they were, the Stations of the Cross, when I was a child here. And thank goodness they haven't changed that at all. On the sides of the stained glass windows, you will note that we've had contributions from members of this parish. Possibly you see one there. I'll try bringing it a little closer. We have donated by Joseph Gordon in memory of Thomas R. Gordon. Irma wants me to see another one on the other side. One moment. Church, a stained glass window here donated by Mr. and Mrs. Charles E. Fink in memory of Fink and Fisher families. The Fisher families are our distant relatives here at St. Patrick's. I'll try to clear that up when I show you the tombstones back out in the cemetery in just a moment. This other one here was donated by the Order of Martha H. in memory of deceased members of her family. And each stained glass window, which can be swung open here for ventilation, members of the parish at that time have donated. St. Patrick's Church, Junction City. Now we'll go outside. Outside, another stained glass window donated by Mr. and Mrs. James Clark, my godparents, in memory of these deceased members of Clark and O'Hara families. Once again, Irish. Today is the crucifix Christ on the cross that used to appear up on the altar. For some reason, they're bringing these statues to the rear of the church, not at all like it was in my day as a child, but this same crucifix appeared up on the altar near the Blessed Virgin Mary. It is now here in the back, near the confessional. We have the confessional here with this little light to show that the room may be occupied or not occupied. And I wasn't going to, but I think I will show you the confessional for the priest. Here's a confession of those participating in the sacrament confession, preparing for the Holy Eucharist. This is this little room where Father hears confessions of the people who want to receive communion and are out of the state of grace. There also are in the back of the church, and they used to appear up on the altar also. In the front, up there near the statue of the Blessed Virgin Mary, where the other lights are up there flickering. I'll bring that in a little closer so you can see. But that is the area where these candles used to appear. Now we will go outside. In the cemetery at St. Patrick's, the tombstone of my dad, John Paxton, and mother, Mary Paxton. John Paxton was my father, and to keep everything straight so that you understand, this is the tombstone of my father. Now then, we'll go to the front of the cemetery, and you'll see my grandfather, or the father of John. Tombstone of my grandfather, Sam Paxton, the father of John Paxton, but my grandfather, Sam. Now then, we'll go to the tombstone here at St. Patrick's, also of Sam's father. Here at St. Patrick's is the tombstone of my great-grandfather. His name was William Paxton, the father of Sam Paxton, the grandfather of my father John, and my great-grandfather. As you can see, the tombstone is tilted a little and leaning. My brother Don said he was going to come back up sometime this week and straighten this tombstone out. His wife's name was Catherine. Her maiden name was Hoy, and this is where the Irish comes from. Catherine Hoy and William Paxton married. This is their tombstone here at St. Patrick's also. My great-great-grandfather. They had 2 or 3 daughters. This was one also, and her name was Catherine. Throughout our history of the Paxton family, there's been quite a few Catherines. Well, this was one that died at age 20, the daughter of William and Catherine Hoy Paxton. Now we'll go one step further in here at St. Patrick's, and I'll show you the tombstone also of Catherine's father, and this is how the Catholics became, how the Paxton family became Catholics, through the Hoys. I believe our other relatives were Lutheran, but it was Catherine Hoy Paxton who brought Catholicism into the Paxton name. Junction City, St. Patrick's Cemetery, we have our great-great-great-grandfather. His name was John S. Hoy. And as you can see, his date of death was October the 25th of 1872. There were other Hoys in that immediate family. Margaret Hoy, a daughter. Mary Hoy, a daughter. And also in this general area are the Fishers, who are also Hoy children. There was a Fisher that was a daughter of the Hoys. And so the Fisher became a relative. I think the mother of, well, the great-grandmother of David Fink, whose name was Matt Fink, was a daughter of the Fishers, and the Fisher was a daughter of John Hoy. So this would be my great-great-great-grandfather. And through his daughter, Catherine, the Paxtons were brought into the Catholic cemeteries here at St. Patrick's Church in Junction City, Ohio. Cemetery, I did want to say that this is Ambrose and Mary Kunkler's tombstone. We visited with their son Bill Kunkler last evening, who was quite active with my brother Don Paxton in pitching horseshoe for the Knights of Columbus. Now this was his dad and mother's tombstone, Ambrose and Mary Kunkler, St. Patrick's Church, Junction City, Ohio. And by the way, Don, my brother Don Paxton, corrected me on an earlier statement on the first recording of this St. Patrick's Cemetery that it wasn't Father Wiggins that had married my brother Don and his wife May Seal, but rather Father Kimberly. And Father Kimberly, I understand, went from